Hello, everyone. Welcome back to class. This is Jennifer.
And this is Peter.
And today is September 7th. If you have your magazines in front of you, we are on page 20.
All right, so let's open this magazine to page 20. Here for today, we have this title that is called
Camel Library Brings Books to Rural Kenya.
Camel Library, 也就是骆驼图书馆。那么 brings 将书带到 books to rural Kenya, 肯亚的农村地区。谈到这个字 rural, that reminds me of the time I stay in Shanghai.
Right?
Over there, you know, a lot of people did have difficulty reading this word.
Yes.
They will say, Lulu.
Lulu?
I live in the Lulu area.
Lulu area. Yeah. Right. This is not an easy word to pronounce because it has two R's and an L. And these sounds are difficult mostly for Asian students.
So we say rural. I used to live in the rural area.
Rural.
But now I live in the city.
Rural areas can also be called the countryside. C-O-U-N-T-R-Y-S-I-D-E, countryside.
Do you enjoy living in the countryside?
Right. I actually like
When you are young, of course.
When I was young.
Yeah. Even today, you are still very young. Living in a rural area constitutes a very beautiful picture. But when you're getting old, you better live near the hospital.
Yes.
This is very important.
Right. My parents are both retired and they have now moved from the rural areas, the countryside, back into the city.
Exactly.
Very close to the hospital.
Yeah. So if you find me, it's quite easy. Just go to any hospital and see if there's a person by the name of Lai Shixiong, and then you know where I live. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Getting old.
Getting
Definitely.
old.
Yeah.
Right. And let's take a look at the word camel. So camel can be referred to the animal camel. Yeah. It can also be referred to the color. The color of a camel is also called camel.
就是骆驼色的，对不对？
Right.
相当于那个染色的棕色的样子。
Yes.
乳黄色一样。好 all right, for today, we have this article. Let's just begin.
In the African country of Kenya, there is a unique kind of library.
在非洲的这个国家叫 Kenya 这个国家，肯亚 there's a unique kind 有一种特别的一种图书馆 a kind of 后头不能再加 a 比如说 he's a kind of a man a kind of 后头就直接加名词了 there are a kind of people there are a kind of friends 这样的一种朋友这样的 he is a kind of friend he is a kind of person 单数的时候就用 person 这个字眼 OK unique 千万记住重音在第二音节而且 I 要念成长五音 E unique 特殊的 very special a special kind of library 但是很多人念不小心不查字典念 eunuch Uh-oh.
Oh.
Eunuch.
Eunuch is something else completely different.
这是一个太监的意思
Right.
所以那个是完全不一样的
Right.
好接着再往下看
Since Kenya is a large country with a lot of poverty, it can be difficult for people to have regular access to books. Blank for those who are nomadic.
好由于呢肯亚是一个很大的国家 with a lot of poverty 拥有很大的贫穷其实这句话也可以写成 Since Kenya is a poverty-stricken country 这是更棒的一个说法
Right.
是饱受贫穷打击的国家 poverty hyphen stricken 怎么拼的呢
Stricken, S-T-R-I-C-K-E-N. So together it's poverty-stricken. Poverty-stricken.
对 a poverty-stricken country 是备受贫穷打击的国家 So it can be difficult for people to have regular access to books. To have access to 就等于 to approach 的意思所以呢就可以接触到 to regularly approach books 所以很难固定的经常的可以接触到书所以呢非常困难对这些人来讲所以怎么样 for them For those who are nomadic 特别是对那些有游牧的、没有定所的、到处走动的、游牧的这些民族来讲。所以第一个我马上可以看得到，这是怎么念呢？
The first one is A, preferably.
Or preferably.
Or preferably, right.
两字，对。我们说 we need a kind of a computer designer, 就电脑的设计师。Preferably a girl, 最好是女的。
为什么？
男的太多的时候，我们觉得公司没有趣。
Oh, that's true, that's true.
第二个 B 怎么说
？B, relatively.
Relatively 也就是相当地。It's relatively hot today. 今天相当热，蛮热的这样子。接着我们看 C.
C, especially.
好，显然是答案是 C， 特别是对那些游牧民族来说，所以答案是 C 是不错的。第四个 D.
D, accurately.
He translated, for me. He translated, or he did an interpretation for me accurately. 很精确的替我做口译翻译的这种事情。所以这边我们可以看到答案是 C。我们接着再往下看。
Actually, before we move on, I want to explain about nomadic. So yes, we can talk about a group of people who don't live in one place. So they move from place to place, one place to another. But in modern days, we can say also that for example, he leads a nomadic lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
So 一个人, he doesn't like to live in the same place. So he moves from house to house to house.
就是 a wayward person. 也就是到这个随性
随意
的人。通常这种人就是 a lone wolf. 就是独行侠，对不对？
Yes.
He's a lone wolf. How do you spell this word?
Lone wolf. L-O-N-E. Wolf, W-O-L-F. Lone wolf.
好，我们接着再往下面看。
The Camel Mobile Library offers a solution to that problem.
好在现在有一个叫做骆驼移动图书馆。Mobile 就是移动的mobile phone. 也就是移动电话，也就是行动电话、手机这样子。
Right.
好，那么这种图书馆呢 offers a solution, 提供了一个解决方案。这个解决方案 solution 这个词后头介词不能用 of 也不能用 for 要用 to. That's a good solution to the problem. 我们说 the key 也是用 to. 比如说 hard work is the only key to success. 努力是启开成功的唯一的一把钥匙，就是一样的意思。刚才的 access 也是用 to. 好，我们接着再往下看。
Its name says a lot about the library service. Books are delivered by camels to various areas of Kenya's northeast.
好，那么这边可以看到 its name 光是这个名字移动的图书馆就说明了 says a lot about 大大的说明了有关这个图书馆的这种服务是什么样的服务。所以下面就讲了 Books are delivered by camels. 这些书都是由谁送达呢？ Delivered 传递就是送达。To various areas 各种不同的区域 of Kenya's northeast 就是肯亚这个东北部这些地方农村地区那么我们发觉都是靠骆驼来送的。接着我们再往下看。
Here's how the Camel Mobile Library works.
以下The following is, here's 就等于 the following is. 以下就是 how the Camel Mobile Library 就是骆驼移动图书馆它是怎么样运作的。这个 works 在里边就等于 functions 一样的意思。F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N 加 S。接着往下看。
From its headquarters in Garissa, the capital of Kenya's northeastern province, 3 camel caravans of 3 camels each blank towards small communities in the area every morning from Monday to Thursday.
That's a mouthful.
It's a long sentence.
这就很难念就是很多句子很多字凑成的。That's a mouthful. M-O-U-T-H-F-U-L. 就这个字有很多字母拼成也是这样的意思好了，我们来看一下这里的第二，我们发觉怎么念的
Two, okay, the option A is set out.
好 set out 就出发的意思。第二个 B
line up.
排队。第三
C, turn off.
好就是关闭就是收音机啦、这些电扇啦、电视啦等电源的设备。第四个 D,
break in.
要闯入。那么在这里显然这个答案呢应当是第二个第二题的第二 A 才对 set out 也就是出发的意思。
Or depart for.
对 depart for set out 也可以用 for 这边用 towards 其实 towards 也可以改成 for they are setting out for 高雄 tomorrow 明天他们就要往高雄出发了，也可以用 setting off OFF 对不对？
Right.
或者 they are departing for setting off for or they are leaving for departing for 这都是用 for 这边用 towards 其实用 for 是更常见那么出发往哪些出发呢？我们待会来看。他说呢from its headquarters in Garissa 我刚刚讲的 Garrison 还真有这个字对不对
Right.
那是警备总部那我们就不说了。他说呢从这 Garissa 这个地方的总部出发。The capital 这个是 Garissa 是什么地方呢？ The capital of Kenya's northeastern province 就是肯亚的东北的一个省的这个省会是就是首都首府，这边指的是省会这样子。好，那么这个怎么从这边出发？这个分词片语，这个介词片语，就整个 from 的片语，就是后头的主词 three camel caravans of 3 camels each 就是修饰这个主词，也兼修饰整个句子包括修饰动词在内。他说每一组有3个骆驼这个队伍 caravans 就是队伍，就是骆驼商队这样子of 3 camels each 是每一组呢是由3只骆驼组成的有3个骆驼商队但是每一个商队呢有3只骆驼
So total of 9 9 camels total.
对，所以这样他们呢就出发 set out 前往什么地方呢 small communities 就是小的社区 in the area 在这个区域就东北区这个地方 every morning from Monday to Thursday 就礼拜一到礼拜四的每个早上都这样出发往这些地方去边走的时候边讲我们今天书来了我们今天书来了这样子他们我觉得应该不是这样讲他们是讲阿拉伯文应该书来了或者是应该肯亚的应该也讲非洲语或者是所谓的他们的英文他们会讲英文叫our books are coming 这样说的好接着我们就往下看
Each of the 3 caravans visits different rural communities, bearing different books each day.
Well, each of the 3 caravans 应该这样说。他说这3个这个骆驼商队呢，3个骆驼队的每一个队呢 visits each 当主词visits different rural communities 会走访去到往不同的这些农村地区，同时 and berries 这个是 and berries 他可以故意把 and 去掉后头的动词呢它本来是连接前面的 visits 对等然后把这个动词 and 去掉动词就变成 bearing 就这样好像 he stood there looking out the out of the window 他站在那边就看着窗外这样子第二个动词没有连接就要变现在分词 I'm sitting here reading a newspaper 你看 reading a newspaper 就是这个道理好他们期待着 bear 本来是熊I used to be called bear 我常常被人家称为是熊叫熊市来这样子原来是颠倒过来叫赖世熊这样那么这边是代表这个期待着
Right,
bear
carrying
对但是过去式是 bore B-O-R-E 没有问题过去分词不是 B-O-R-N 要 B-O-R-N-E 这样子 所以我们说用空中飞机载运的叫 airborne。airborne 怎么拼的呢
？Airborne, A-I-R-B-O-R-N-E, airborne. Airborne can also mean something that is flying in the air.
对，
right.
也是空降部队，也就是 airborne。好，我们就接着往下看，载运着各种不同的书，这样子。好，接下来怎么说呢？
The animals are loaded up with large wooden boxes filled with hundreds of books, chairs, tables, and tents.
好，这些动物啊 are loaded up with， 其实那个 up 是强调的用法，不加也可以 are loaded with， 装满着，这样子就这样。上面就是 load， 就是用一袋一袋的东西装上去，装满着什么呢？个大型的木箱啊，叫 wooden boxes。这木箱里头 which are filled with which are 省略掉了，里面充满了好几本书啊，还有椅子，还有包括桌子 and tents， 还有帐篷这样子。
Wow, the camels can really carry a lot of things.
对，但它是 camels 通常不会讲话，它只会小心，因为那个口水
吐口水
那个吐口水很臭。我被吐过。
Camels are very famous for spitting, so be careful when you're around.
Spit. 就是不要随便吐痰，叫 S-P-I-T 这样子。Don't spit here 这样子。好，我们接着再往下看。
Although slow compared to automobiles, camels have the blank of being able to travel to areas where there are no roads.
虽然呢慢 ，although they are slow。They 这个主词要加上去 ，are 要加上去，可是跟后头的 camels 引导的那个主要子句啊，这是相同的主词 ，they 就是指的 camels， 所以 they 就去掉 are 就变成 being。Although being slow 现在分词 being， 而 being 可以省得掉，所以虽然骆驼非常慢，跟什么比呢 ？When compared to automobiles，when compared to。我念成 automobiles 也可以，对不对
？Automobiles or automobiles。
对，都可以这样子啊，跟这个汽车来比，这样相当的慢了。可是这个呢，骆驼们呢 have the blank， 却有什么呢？第三题一看就知道答案是 A，怎么说呢
？A advantage。
好，整个句子我们再念一遍。
Although slow compared to automobiles, camels have the advantage of being able to travel to areas where there are no roads.
对，它虽然它是慢呢，可是它有这些优点啊，就是优势叫 advantage。所以呢，我们说住在乡下的好坏啊，优势跟劣势在什么地是什么啊 ？What are the advantages and disadvantages?To living in the country， 它后头可以用介词 to， 也可以用介词 of living in the country， 啊，就是住在乡下有什么好处，有什么坏处 ？What are the advantages and disadvantages to living in the country， 或者 living in the countryside， 这样子说法都可以。那么至于 privilege 呢，就是通常演讲时候用的。Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to talk to you.I know that you are, knowledgeable, but still I want to say Plato is my friend, as he is a very good friend of mine, and so
Plato?
is Socrates. They live nearby, near where I live, and they sell noodles. 就这样子，你看就知道我有没有学问了，这样子啊。苏格拉底、柏拉图，这样子
都是我的邻居，
都是邻居，这样子。It is my privilege.个人很荣幸发表这个演讲，就用这个字。Opportunities 机会 ，responsibilities 责任，没有什么意义。那你要负起什么什么责任，用 assume 这个字怎么拼的呢
？Assume, A-S-S-U-M-E, assume, to assume responsibility.
That you should assume the responsibility of raising the family. 我有一次呢，经过 Jennifer 的家里，听到她突然对老公说这样的话，这样子。
每天都在说。
每天都在说。
Yes.
对，好，所以这个答案呢是 A， 这是没有问题。接着我们再往下看。
The Camel Mobile Library which receives funding from the Kenyan government, allows children to borrow 2 books at a time for 14 days.
好，我们就是 Camel Mobile Library 骆驼移动图书馆呢，就当主词 which receives funding， 这是中间插入的关系代名词引导的形容词子句，那么修饰前面的主词，这它是获得这种金源叫做 funding， 就是资助。
Right.
来自于谁的资助呢？ From the Kenyan government， 就是肯亚政府的资助。它的动词是 allows， 主词是前面的 the Camel Mobile Library， 可以让小朋友 allow somebody to 的用法。To borrow 就等于 lets children borrow， 用 lets 的话，你那个 children 后头就不能加 to。Let me go 就不能讲是 let me to go，allow me to go 等等，这样才对。好，这个允许呢，他们呢，借2本书 at a time， 一次 at a time 就一次我们叫做 for 14 days， 一次借2本书，然后可以看2个礼拜的时间。
还不错，
大家不要急这样子好，大家准备要被砍头啦这样子我就是 only one can come in at a time， 一次只能进来1个人，不要冲着全部进来，
不要插队，no cutting in line
对，那是开玩笑，不能这样做好，我们接着再往下看。
After 2 weeks, they can either blank the books to keep them for another 2 weeks or borrow different ones.
就是2个礼拜后，他们可以 either or 的用法，要不然就怎么样，要不然就怎么样。要不然就怎么样？第一个 A recall 回忆 When I recall my childhood, I can't help crying 这样子好，第二个 B review 复习，第3 remove 移除掉，把东西拿掉这样子第4个 renew 就是更新，就是让就是重新再登记，这样使得这个可以继续呢借这个书，所以可见这个答案应当是第4个 D， 对不对？
Right, D, renew.
对，好，那么就是是没有问题的。那么接着呢，要不然呢 or borrow different ones 借其他的书，我们看下面怎么说。
Most of the books are in English, blank a few being published in the local language Somali.
好，他说大部分的这些书呢都是用英文版的那相当不错。我们这马上看了，就是 for 是因为with 还有一些书这个等于 with 这边代表还有 a few 就等于 a few books being published which are published which 去掉动词 are 变成 being， 那么这个的其实 being 可以省得掉with a few published in the local language，是当地的语言所这个出版的，那么叫做索马里语言这样子。好，所以可见这个答案是第2个 B 有的意思。since 代表自从或由于没有意义 ，despite 是尽管，但是介词也没有意义在这边，所以答案是第2个 B 是不错。我们接着再看最后一句。
The service is important in improving education and literacy levels in the nation's northeast, where more than 80% of the region's population is illiterate.
好，这种服务是非常重要。在哪方面呢 ？In improving education and literacy levels， 在改善教育以及识字程度方面，提升这个识字程度方面，那么在这个国家的东北部非常重要。Where 就等于 in which， 在这儿呢 more than 80% of the region's population， 当地区域的约有 80% 以上的人呢，这些人口呢是 literate 是识字的， illiterate 是不识字的，是文盲。所以这篇文章我们就讲